Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Here I am once again for a third time, and I thought it was my last speech, but now, if we don't have elections, I'll still come back for another term. I was elected in 2015. I was only 30 years of age. I had young children. I went back and forth for 2 years to not miss anything in my children's lives. My objective was always to give my children a better future. I wanted to give them a country that wasn't Canada, but rather Quebec. I've always been proud to be the member from Mirabel, but I was never proud of the land that the federal government stole from my region, several acres. But I am very proud to be have been the member of Mirabel to defend those people who lost their land. I'd like to thank my children for having waited for me so often when I wasn't home. And they knew I was coming to do my farewell speech tonight. I'll give them a treat when I get back, but we'll see that. Also to my spouse, Joni, who's always been by my side, who believes in our cause. Mr. Speaker, I'm not the Prime Minister, so I won't start crying, but now that I've paid some compliments, I'd like to make the rest of my speech. The biggest problem in Canada is Canada itself. It's a state that says it's progressive. It has legislation, but it is being dictated to by a monarchy. Canada's progressive message, Mr. Speaker, is this. We are not born equal under law. Some people inherit their power through their birth, and that is the very contrary to democracy. I understand tradition, but the weight of a mass like that could support a family for a year. Canada also says it's a big human rights defender, but internationally it says it's going to save everyone, but it can't even provide drinking water to Indigenous communities here. And it's responsible for this on its own territory. It doesn't even see the end to this. Canada also created peacekeepers. They think they're peacekeepers worldwide, but at the same time, it seals peace deals with Middle Eastern countries to buy armored vehicles and helps to arm totalitarian regimes who crush their people. Canada also says it's egalitarian, but it adopted tax haven legislation so that a lot of taxes that could come to Canada are now transferred to other places. They could have spent it on health transfers, but it doesn't. That's the ethical issue. Also, Mr. Speaker, ethically, Canada is a tax haven for mining companies. The law doesn't apply to them. Canada thinks it's green. We're for the environment. We want everyone to be good. We're going to plant 2 billion trees. It's great. But on the other hand, it's a petrol state that finances oil companies with yesterday's energy by ignoring tomorrow's energy. We're paying for that with our taxes in Quebec. Canada says it's strong and united, that the idea of Canada is wonderful, but the Canadian identity, Mr. Speaker, is fragile. It is fragile. Albertans are more proud to be Albertan, and Quebecers are more proud to say they're Quebecers. We need new ideas. They had to topple monuments to see the rust beneath them. And that's the problem. Canada says it's a democratic country, but it stole the referendum in 1995 without talking about, not to mention the sponsorship scandal. They said they held a democratic election. Canada also says it's on the forefront of workers' rights, but they weren't even able to adopt legislation to respect the right to strike. And Canada's history has been based on the assimilation of First Peoples. John A. Macdonald, the founder of Canada, was a racist, even though people say he was a good guy. To construct identity, Canada stole from Quebec. The maple leaf, there's almost no maple leaves in your country. And the beaver, you have no beavers. Mr. Speaker, if west of the Ottawa River, you can't even eat a poutine that's edible. And the only cultural thing you have left is hockey, and they never even win in Toronto.
Puis je vous le dis dans votre langue pour pousser comprendre.
And I said that in English so you could understand, all of you. Mr. Speaker, I'm an independent bloc member, and I've been pro-separation my entire life. So long live Free Quebec.
Et maintenant,